We are working towards the School of Education with, again, Hilary Jones.
Yes.
Hilary Jones, you are this university, University of Wisconsin. And,
Yes.
how are things so far?
Oh, things are pretty fine. So far, like, I've not seen big challenges. When I came, food was a challenge, but I had taught myself to love people's food when I'm in a new country.
You have adapted.
I've adapted to their food.
Yeah, but maybe this is not your first international experience.
Of course, this is not my first international experience. I had my first international experience when I graduated in 2019, when I went to Somalia.
You were in Somalia?
Yeah, of course. Mogadishu.
Which Somalia are you talking about?
The Somalia, which is east, most of east.
The neighbor to Kenya?
The neighbor to Kenya. The country with the longest coastline in Africa.
The country also that is feared to harbor some terrorists?
Yes, the country that is feared to be the mother of Al-Shabaab.
You went there to...
You know Captain Phillips?
No.
Did you watch the movie of Captain Phillips?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, the country that frustrated Captain Phillips.
You were that determined to go and help the kids, children, students in Somalia?
Of course. And I did.
In Mogadishu?
Yes. And the things that you watch in Captain Phillips are a reality. They are not...
It's not fiction?
It's not fiction. I'm telling you.
You have to watch your back when going to school.
Yeah. Imagine the worst thing that has ever happened to me when I landed at the airport at
in Mogadishu.
In Mogadishu. It's called Aden Abdule International Airport in Mogadishu. The people who came to pick me up were two of them, the director of the school and the school principal. The first thing they did was to pick my passport. So they told me that they were going to use it to process me a working permit. In reality, they were confiscating my passport, but I didn't know that they were confiscating it to prevent me from, because they know that the country perhaps could be a very boring country, and maybe one morning you can just wake up and run home, fly home. So they pick your passport to prevent you from just waking up and deciding to fly home without their consent.
Your first day in Somalia, they took your passport.
They confiscated my passport. They took it. What they did, it's not a... In fact, when you use the word took, is a lesser weight. It's kind. They confiscated my passport. Confiscate my passport.
Literally to prevent you from coming back.
From coming back. Perhaps they know that
or
maybe...
from going back home
From going
Kenya.
Back home, yeah. Maybe they know that it could be boring. The way they treat, maybe teachers could be boring to you. And they just
How long were you in Somalia?
Oh, that was around 1 year and around 5 months, I think so.
You taught for a while, and were they paying you well? I mean, or was it because you didn't find a job in Kenya?
Oh, I actually didn't have a job in Kenya by that time. So when I got that, I thought it was going to be, they were paying me $550, which is even better. Which is even better than
what you were earning in Kenya.
Yeah, a fully fledged teacher in Kenya employed, a high school teacher employed by the Teacher Service Commission of Kenya.
Were they giving you a house?
They gave me a house.
Was it, I mean, I'm curious, I'm asking you these questions because...
They gave me a house, and the house was fully equipped. Yeah.
It had internet, everything?
No. For internet was not there, but we have got the cooking...
the kitchen was
well equipped, and the laundry was well equipped, and the bed, everything was there. But
what about security? Were you feeling safe?
That was the main problem. That's why I told you what you watch in Captain Phillips is not just a fiction.
It's real.
It's real. The first thing that they told me is that I could not, because I come from a country, Kenya, which is 70% Christian, or maybe 80% Christian. So I come from a Christian background. But Somalia is a total Islamic state. Absolute Islamic state.
And you had gone there as Hilary?
Yeah, and I went there as Hilary Jones, which is a Christian name. And so one of the things they said is that So one of the things they said is that I could not go to class to teach with my Christian name.
What do you mean? You mean they
I
give you
couldn't get there
they
to
gave you an
teach.
Islamic name?
So I had to drop my Christian name to pick up a new Islamic name. That's what I meant.
This is not this is not a laughing matter, Hilary.
It's okay. So for the one year
what name did they give you?
So the 1 year and 12 months that I taught in Somalia, I went by the name Hilal Mohamed. They say that Hilal means a new moon. Although I did not know how new the moon was, but what I knew was that I was becoming a new creation.
So Hilary became Hilal.
Became Hilal.
So he became Hilal Mohamed.
Yes. So
that you can be able to survive in that environment.
In that environment to teach the kids. Yeah, they told me that if you go to class with a Christian name and you are not a Muslim, the students are gonna ask you, are you a Muslim? And you must respond by a yes, not a no.
Did you pass the test? Did the students ever ask you about that?
That is the first thing they do. They asked me in class and I told them, yes, I'm a Muslim. And they persisted. But I was told during the orientation that you don't argue with the students so much. The first thing you do, they're going to ask you whether you're a Muslim or not. They want to know. You cannot teach them if you're a Christian. And after telling them, yes, you're a Muslim, you stop there. You stop the argument there. But now my worst moment came when one day I was leaving school and going home. And kids who were playing football outside the school compound stopped me. And they're not all that kids, but boys. And, they are grazing their cattle, their cows, their camels. And they were asking me whether I'm a Muslim. And I said, yes, I'm a Muslim. And they told me to recite some parts of the Quran. And I failed the test of reciting some parts of the Quran.
Goodness.
So that became my worst nightmare in Somalia, when I failed to recite the parts of the Quran. And they had, even kids there, they have got guns. Little boys, they carry guns around. So when they surround you and these people have guns, and they're asking you whether you're a Muslim, and they are calling you Nyelengumu. They call us here Nyelengumu, which means the harder man. And I was scared.
For sure,
I was
very scary.
Scared. And there was an incident in which one of the houses for teachers just was exploded.
It caught fire, it was bombed.
Overnight.
We don't know.
One night, maybe bombed overnight. And a teacher from Uganda was killed in that process.
When you were in that school?
When I was in that school.
What was the name of the school?
It's called, it's not, according to my consciousness, it's not good to mention the name of the school, but we could mention the name of the school outside the eyes of the camera.
Viewers, it is that serious.
Outside the camera.
When we are not able to mention the name of the school for security reasons,
for security reasons.
That just simply means that it was a very serious affair, and that was your experience in Mogadishu, teaching in Mogadishu in Somalia for almost 1.5 years.
Yeah, almost 1.5 years. So
how did you live?
At the end of the semester, when we were supposed to, when the school is closing down for December holidays, so you have to renew the contract. So I was the first one to run to the office of the principal under the pretext that I wanted to renew my contract, and they gave me I signed the forms, and I would come back the following year. But once they gave me the passport, I took the plane, went home to Nairobi, and then I just said, bye, Somalia. Bye, Somalia.
Thank God it's done, and you'll never go back again.
Yeah. But before that, I was trying to look for ways to get out, but they had my passport. So something told me to just take a bus and to cross the border, but that was going to take around 4 days before I could get to Kenya. And my mother called me from home and told me not to try the bus because the Al-Shabaab, the militia group that has been terrorizing people. And my mother assured me they are going to kill me at the border. So it would better to remain patient and play humble. And so that's what I did until the year ended.
That's when you became more prayerful.
Yeah. So I was just...
That's when you were Hillary, not Hilal.
That is... And imagine my friends converted. My friends from Kenya converted to Islam.
Fully.
Yeah, and here I was coming from a Christian background. My mother is a pastor of a church, a big church at home. And so I was just going to disappoint people by telling them that, I'm not a Muslim. And
that was
not my belief. And if I get home and tell people that I'm a Muslim, I'm going to be the first person to be a Muslim on the island. I mentioned to you that I was born on an island inside Lake Victoria.
Don't tell me you are born. Were you born in Rusinga or where?
In Fangano Island.
You were born in Fangano?
Yeah. Many people think we are Luos, but we are not actually Luos. We are Subas, a Basuba.
Yeah, there's always a confusion between the Suba and the Luos.
Yeah, the Luos have people say we are absorbed by the Luos, assimilated by the Luos. Yeah.
I've been to the island where the Isipe Research Center is.
Mm-hmm.
I know a little bit about that island.
Yeah,
that's not Mfangano.
That's Mbita.
That's Mbita.
Yeah.
Mfangano is far much larger.
Mfangano
it's larger.
Mbita is not an island.
Yes, there's a small. A small.
So when I come from Mfangano, I land Mbita. Mbita is the first, the land that we land to from the Mfangano Islands. Mbita is the first place we land to. Mm-hmm.
Your story is amazing. It's also shocking. It's also some kind of an amazing story to our viewers that, hey, do not try this at home. Meaning, do not go to Mogadishu.
Like, since I came from Somalia, there are fellow teachers who have contacted me. They have gotten out of opportunity to go and teach in Somalia. And I tell them, forget about it. Don't even think about it.
Don't go it for the money.
Don't even think about it.
You may never come out alive.
You may not never come even out alive. There's one who defied and went, but he did not complete 2 months.
He came back.
He went back. And he cried having resigned. He regretted having resigned from his job to go to Somalia, though I warned him.
You are watching Diaspora Scholars TV. This is a story about
Hilal John
from Mfangano Island, who's now a Fulbright Scholar at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Yes.
This is his words. Do not go to Somalia to teach, at least for now, until when your security is assured. You don't want to do this if you want to be able to convert your religion from Christianity or any other indeed to Muslim if you don't need to. Amazing. Thank God you are here.
Thank you.
Thank God you are doing great.
Thank you.
And I advise you, maybe you should write a book. There are several parts to your story that are extremely amazing, and I think you'll go places.
Yeah.
You'll definitely go places. If you want to reach out to Hilary Jones, you can do so through this channel. You can comment down below. Go to the Kenya Science in Diaspora.com website. You'll find his profile as well. You can also find him on LinkedIn as well. And surely you can be able to reach him also through the Department of
African Cultural Studies.
African and Cultural Studies, University of Wisconsin in Madison. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof.
We'll come again.
Thank you.
Sure. Perfect.